Welcome to another episode of Start to Finish, fueling discipline, focus, and the right mindset. On this journey, man, life is good. When you have discovered some meaning to life, it pushes you to do the crazy stuff. When you are uncovering your journey of where you want to get to, where you want to be, you want to push your limits. You want to do whatever it takes to enjoy that meaning, to enjoy what you're discovering. So I'm at that place where I'm enjoying this process of learning, of discovering, of sharing knowledge. And it doesn't matter what time it is. I just want to consolidate this info and share it with you guys. So right now it's in the middle of the night. So I'm in my studio here. Actually, it takes me a couple of hours to set it up and to break it apart. But eventually, hopefully, I'll set up a fixed studios up and have guys who can assist me to build this thing. But what we are talking about right now is purpose. I shared a bit about identity. Who are you at the core? What defines you? What makes you tick? And I was talking about we can try and define ourselves with our roles, with our backgrounds, where we come from. But we have infinity roles. We have infinity values, and passion. Those things that remains forever. Like if you are a father, you want to be a good father. Not just a father, but further define that fatherhood or that leadership role. You're not just a leader, but you're an empathic leader. And further to discovering your identity, it helps you therefore to discover your purpose. Why was I created? What was I created for on this earth? I think we should all thrive to have some form of purpose in everything that we do, be it with our work, with our personal lives. There should be something that becomes a driving force that keeps you doing those things that you love or that you keep doing. I don't know if you've ever asked yourself, why do I keep doing this thing that I continue doing? Is it the thing that I'm supposed to continue doing, or is it my purpose? Is it my reason for existence? So when we look in the Word of God, Jesus had a purpose. And his purpose was to save humanity. Joseph had a purpose. He told his brothers, I will lead you one day. Lead you where? There was a famine in the land, and he brought them into Egypt. Because God has used him. Jacob became Israel. Abraham became the father of many nations. Paul preached the gospel to the Gentiles. We have to discover our purpose and the reason for our existence. We have to know who we are in Christ. We have to know our identity. And these are things, I think growing up, you learn a bit about it, and sometimes you don't explore further to understand your existence. Those who were fortunate enough to want to discover their identity, to want to discover their purpose at a young age, stand to fulfill so much in their life's journey. Because they understand, I must know who I am. I must know the reason for my existence. So it's important to walk this journey. It's not something that you discover overnight, but it's a lifelong process. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that you need to find the pieces that adds up together. What are your interests? Who does God say you are? And your reason for existence. Do you have purpose in your work? Where you're working, or you just become a placeholder? It's about survival. Most times we begin to live out a purpose for our parents, or for our teachers, or for the people who influence us, and never really come to a place where we discover for ourselves our reason for existence. And in those times, you get to live a frustrating life. You get to find no fulfillment. Maybe you get bored by the work that you do. There's no passion. There's no meaning. There's no drive to it. And if you're in that place, it's important to begin to ask yourself your reason for existence. To come up and discover some form of purpose. To begin to walk this journey of discovery and pick up those pieces and puzzle them together and come up with something so beautiful that as you walk your journey of life, you will be fulfilled. As you wake up every single morning and spend your 8 hours in your workplace, you enjoy what you're doing. You don't dread getting up in the morning to go to work, but you do so because there is a purpose inside of you. There's a reason for you to do it every single day of your life. So let's go on this journey and discover our lives. A life lived with purpose is the one that enriched with happiness, motivation, mental well-being. You never really stressed about things. You never really worried about money, whether you have it or you don't, because you are living a life full of purpose. It helps us to find meaning in everyday life, bringing fulfillment and contentment. It's what grounds us. You don't want to wake up frustrated. You don't want to wake up, depressed. And you don't even know where this depression is coming from. You're not walking in your purpose. You haven't discovered meaning to life. But as you make this discovery, every journey that you make, you go out for walks, you go out for cycling, you exercise, you smile, you laugh, because you begin to understand that life is meant to be lived. And in order to come to that place where we live life and be full and be enjoying it, we need to discover our purpose, your existence, your reason why. And is the drive that powers us to make our ambition worthwhile. Look at all the greats that have gone before us. The inventors waking up knowing, oh, my purpose is to bring light to the world. My purpose is to make life easy for others. Being in a space of solar, I enjoy it so much. I enjoy waking up in the morning and addressing the energy needs for Africa. Because, when we install a solar system either at a company or at a home, especially for me, if you go to a rural home and power them with solar, you've met a need. You've brought light where there was darkness. That excites me every morning. I wake up and go to my work. For me, it's a purpose for our existence, for our business existence. When you put those smiles on people's faces, oh man, it's a game changer. That's what we stand for. And me doing what I'm doing right now, I am so much fulfilled. I'm so much pumped up. I can do this all night and all day. Because there's something that is coming from within me that keeps me going. I smile, I laugh, I enjoy this journey of learning and of sharing information. And the most exciting thing is, when you share information, that's also how you retain the information, the knowledge that I'm learning. So here I am, wanting to discover, who am I? I'm still on a journey. I haven't fully grasped this thing. But I'm saying, if you are young, this is the time to begin to discover, what's my identity? What's my purpose? Because when you make this discovery at a young age, you can accomplish so much more in your life. But at the same time, it's never too late to want to make this discovery. Purpose can evolve with time, with maturity, with growing up. It's said is the journey of self-discovery. It's the journey of learning. And to discover purpose, be willing to ask the questions. Be curious. Be intentional about life. Everything that happens around you should just be curious to understand and to learn and to know. I'm sure you've got interest. You've got things that moves you. The question is, are you spending time in that space of learning, of wanting to know how this works, how this operates? Or your life has just become survival? Everything that we do in life should have meaning, should bring a smile on your face, on someone else's face, should change and transform a life. And when you do that, trust me, you won't be depressed. You won't be frustrated. You will enjoy it, and you wake up every morning and continue doing it, because that is what drives your soul. That is what moves you forward. So we have to break forth and begin to find our own purpose, our own reason for existence. Sometimes you have kids who grow up and their life is already designed, where they are going to work, how they are going to live their lives. But I think it's important to allow every human soul to explore life for themselves. They already know who they're going to marry, how life is going to end up, because someone designed it for them. But will it fulfill them? Will it make them, will that make their heart jump out of them every single day? There are stories of someone when they discovered, there's a guy called Alex Omozi. He loves what he does. Sharing this knowledge about his journey of business, of how you can grow a business. But coming back from his background, he had limitations. His father wanted him to be someone else that he knew he can't be. So he went on to discover who he is supposed to be. There's a video that I watched, I spoke about this at some point, about Elon Musk. At a young age, he was discovering his place in life. He was learning and reading. And hear this to the young ones. Your 20s are your learning years. Learn as much as you can. Experiment in a good way. Just experiment and learn and discover and grow in your knowledge base. There's this thing that in Africa we don't do it, but a lot of white people do it, where they finish either university or they finish high school, they go like on a year sabbatical. They travel, learning and growing. By the time they go back to their lives, they know exactly where they want to be. Sometimes we design ourselves to work from every single day without being fulfilled, from paycheck to paycheck. But when you create an opportunity to learn, to know your way through life, to find fulfillment, that becomes a game changer. And we stop surviving and we begin to live. So let's go out and discover your why, your reason for existence, your reason for you to be in this life, for you being born where you are born. Are you living out that meaning of life? Are you finding joy in the things that you do every single day? Let's find our purpose and begin to live a fulfilled life, not just surviving. Go on a journey for yourself, for your future, for your family, and learn who you're supposed to be. So here are a few tips on how to discover your purpose. Finding your purpose isn't a one-stop destination. It's not, oh, I've already discovered it. But it's a journey that you have to travel. The most exciting thing about life, it's a journey that you have to discover who you are, what you are designed for, and life will be super exciting. Cultivate your purpose. Cultivating your purpose is a journey of self-discovery and growth. Start with a period of introspection. Introspect. Ask the questions. And when you have asked the questions and you have written them down and you know the things that you're supposed to do, don't be scared to take the action. Grow some wings and fly. You don't want to remain in your cocoon. You don't want to remain kagonye, but you want to evolve like a butterfly and fly away as high as you can go. That's how life has to be. That's how fulfillment will become part of your journey. Fear has no place. So the first thing is prayer and meditation. To get in that place of learning, of knowing who you are, of finding your purpose, you have to pray. Pray that God guides you. Pray that you begin to learn your passions. You begin to learn those things that will make a difference. Get into a quiet place and begin to search your inner thoughts. Maybe there are things that you started thinking about as a child, but as you grow older, as life happens, you just start saying, I'm not going to be looking at these issues. Introspection, meditating, and you start a journey of discovery. You have to ask the questions. When you ask the questions, the universe, God answers. But they have to be the right questions. What are your strengths? And how can you use them daily? What are your values? What are my passions? What drives me? What excites me? Is my identity defined? Ask the hard questions to yourself. Have a pen and paper and begin to write the answers to the questions that you are learning. That's the first place of introspection. Asking the questions. Identify the things you care about and matters most to you. What do you care about? For me, it's family, religion, my work and business, my values. I care about those things dearly. So what do you care about? What drives you? Look out for those things. Recognize your strength and talent. Do you even know what you're good at? Me, I'm good at talking. That's why I'm using my words. I'm discovering I'm good at learning. I'm giving myself purpose to learn new information. And I want to have a community where we grow together, where we learn from each other and become better humans. So what are your strengths? What are your talents? Are you a singer? Are you a dancer? Can you use those talents? Can you build them up into something beautiful? When you dance, do people laugh? There's some form of purpose in your strength and your talents, and you can use them to serve God and to bring meaning to your own life. Volunteer your time and talents to support others. What are you using your time for? Can you volunteer time for your family, to mentorship, to doing something? I remember at one point I joined a group where we would get into the streets and feed the less fortunate, the street kids. It was amazing. The time to talk to them, telling you their stories, and you encourage each other. So volunteer your time. Not always saying, I don't have time. Don't be just a survivor. To discover who you are and your reason for your existence, you need to mingle and meet people. You need to get out there in the world. The world is so big. Don't limit yourself to where you are. Cultivate gratitude. Can you say thank you? Can you say, I'm happy with my life? I appreciate where I am. Or we get so disgruntled and frustrated about our lives, about where we are, and it becomes depressing. But when you begin to walk the journey of cultivating, just saying a nice words, opening a door for your wife, doing something of gratitude to someone you don't know, a stranger, and you feel fulfilled. When was the last time you said thank you to someone? Even your parents, just to say, Mom and Dad, thank you for giving me life. I'm enjoying my life so much, where I am and where I'm going. So let's be grateful people, and life will begin to change for us. Build a mental map. You need to belong to some mentorship. Find a coach who can help you align with your purpose. Because this journey is not a lonely journey. It's a journey where you need to infuse yourself and peer to peer, learning from one another, asking each other the tough questions. Sometimes it's so sad we don't get to ask each other or ourselves the tough questions. We just want to survive. But that's not what God created us to become just survivors. There's a destiny for us. There's an end goal for us. But we cannot get to that place if we don't learn from ourselves. Have a purpose journal. Like I said, everything starts from introspection. You ask yourself the question, you write down. Journaling is one of the things that I struggle with even up to now. But lately I've been trying as much as I can to give myself time to be writing things down. I think I'm not a patient person, but you still have to find a way, to write notes. Buy a notebook. Begin to write your life story. Begin to record, to diarize your journey, your days. And when you look back in that information, there's some dotted lines that will lead you to a commonality of interests, of passions. Explore your interest. I love adventures. One of these days I want to be traveling the world. I enjoy walks. I enjoy cycling. I love these things. Some of them have already started. Traveling is the biggest one that I want to hopefully and pray for, that I infuse. Sometimes we're always saying, I don't have money to travel. But we don't even know our own backyards. You have a car, sometimes you just need to put on some fuel. We are going to Blawa just to see the sceneries. We are going to Mtare. We are going further down to Nyanga. You just drive. We have to discover. We have to explore our interests. Stop saying I don't have time. We all have the time to go and make self-discoveries. To know who we are and what we're supposed to do in our lives. What are your values? Discover your values. Discover your identity. And it aligns to knowing your purpose. I just want to live this year. And I hope it will be a game changer for you as you learn about who you are. Because when all is said and done, you have a smile on your face. You have joy. You have peace. You find meaning to wake up every morning. I'm sure I've heard stories of people with lots of money. They've worked so hard in their journey of life. But they go into a motel and kill themselves. Others live a very depressed life because they are not discovering their reason for existence. So go on a journey, learn, grow, make mistakes. But when all is said and done, you become to know your purpose. You have some form of meaning to everything that you do. And that will keep you going to accomplishing greater things in your own life.